I was going to yell at the millennials, at the Generation Z especially. Uh, this is a new channel for me, but I've been on UCock before. And, you know, I was going to yell at you kids. Right on? Was going to yell at you, humiliate you, do all the things that are negative, nasty. And then I said to myself, listen, young people, and again, understand where I'm coming from. I grew up much different from you kids. A hell of a lot different. I was a former New York City cab driver for 20 years in the 70s before you were born. And if you ever heard the movie Rambo, I was rambling it up. I didn't kill anybody, thank goodness. I wasn't really that violent, but at times I had to be to defend myself. So that's one aspect of my life. Because I was going to go to sleep and I said, you know what? I can't go to sleep. I got to make this fucking video. The video is about the fact is that you kids don't know anything about our generation. Now, I want to show you something, right? I want to show you what a CB radio looks like, and I got plenty. Now, the CB radio was the original internet. We had clubs on there. We had people from all over the United States that would be club members, like Kilo Papa Group and Alpha Alpha Delta Group and all kinds of fancy names. And a lot of these guys were serious operators. And they put out some good power, had big antennas. Let me tell you something. We had more fun on the CB radio than what we have today on the internet. Now, we got a couple of enemies who are the real parasite scumbags of human society. And they're no different than the CBers I used to fight with. Because that was my thing. I used to love fighting with CBers. And we have some good rumbles out there, good rumbles in the jungle. And it was more, in my opinion, more interactive than computers. Computers are fake and phony, and they're nothing but a death trap. They're a cash cow for the government. You got AI now. Did I say it right? AI? That is going to take away all kinds of jobs. And Elon Musk now is a trillionaire. He's benefiting from all this technology. I mean, he's blowing Bill Gates away. Bill Gates has nothing on Eli. And I kind of like Eli as a person. I think he's a cool guy because he makes good inventions. He's like our version of Albert Einstein, right? But anyway, I want to show you what a CB radio looks like because I've been talking about it somewhat. I mentioned it on my show, on my program, The Crazy Joe Show. And this is a Uniden. Which one is model is this? PC PC66 XL. It's just your basic CB radio, and this is your channel selector knob here. So you change. It's 40 channels, and you turn that knob, and you can go from 1 to 40. Then it's got some other switches like the volume, squelch eliminates the background noise, and stuff like that. And this radio is one of my favorites. So that's what this is for the mobile. That's why it's this size. See, it's got the meter there, and it's meant for the car. And if you hook up a decent antenna, you can get out like 15, 20 miles. No problem. Especially at night, you get out further. A little bit quieter. It depends. But as of right now, CB radio supposedly is non-existent. So, and so is ham radio. Believe it or not, amateur radio. I know you had to heard of fucking ham radio, right? But the point was before that I said that I was going to yell at you kids and call you stupid and morons and idiots. Well, I don't think I should do that. And I'll tell you why. Because you grew up in a much different generation than our generation. And you grew up on computers and all that bullshit, where we grew up, in my estimate, in my opinion, we grew up with real radio, because it wasn't the internet. It was a challenge to get that radio I just showed you to transmit, and to transmit over long distances. The average was about maybe 5 miles, right? 10 if you were lucky. I learned, and it took me a few years, but I learned how to get out, how to maximize my range. And it was a challenge. It was, it wasn't that easy. You had to know your measurements. The 27 megahertz band, which is CB radio, if you do 9 multiplied, not multiplied, 9 divided into 27, you get 27, 9, 18, 27. So, the length of the antenna should be 9 feet. And there are shorter antennas, but they have coils in them, and they make up for the 9 feet. And those are called loaded antennas. The old-fashioned antenna from the 1950s is the 9-foot steel whip, but to make it resonate, you have to add a quick disconnect, which is an additional piece here, and you extend it electrically, well, physically, from 102 inches, like my cock, to 108 inches. And that is the resonating frequency for it to resonate on the 27 megahertz band. Because, as I said, 9, 18, 27. So that length fits perfectly in the 27 and megahertz band. And, you got really good tuning, like it's called SWR, where standing wave ratio. That means that all your power is coming from your cable to your antenna, and it's not reflecting back into the radio, which will blow up the radio. So you see, these are things that I had to learn. These are beginning steps, right? For the 9-foot whip antenna and so forth. So I don't want to bore anybody. I'm just explaining that it's mathematical, it's measurements, it's really science, and how the radio signals bounce off the ionosphere, and which is possible to talk over incredible long distances. Like, I'll give you an example. I have talked on my radio to Ireland, Republic of Ireland, Italy, France, Italy, Montreal, the Mojave Desert, Nevada, San Francisco, LA, Hawaii, Alaska, and even down under. No computer. You feel me? No computer. Straight RF, which stands for radio frequency modulation, wattage. It's in your Ohm's law if you know anything about electrical. And it's just an antenna like this, and the wire goes into it, and you key the radio, and the signal goes out the antenna. And antennas come in different lengths and sizes. But to be honest with you, we have more fun with these radios than any computer. And we'll be right back. I want to explain about your computers and how they have poisoned our society.